Hi, everyone. My name is Anna. I am the creator and founder of Evolvv1111. Today, I want to talk to you about closing the door after having broken love. You've heard me speak about feeling like I just wasn't good enough when my last relationship ended. In fact, I made a whole video on it. I explained how God's love had saved me. If you haven't seen it, go back and take a moment to watch. I made an amazing transformation in my life. I went from being a victim of my circumstances to someone who not only was victorious in loss, but someone who finally spoke up, which is why you're seeing me here. I protected my peace and my heart through God's love for me. The idea that you need to forgive everyone to heal is just not correct. Some people do not deserve the space in your healing journey. Forgiveness is just one way to move ahead, but it's not the only way. Sometimes you have to let go, and letting go has to be enough. You see, you can learn a lot about someone when you see what they lack. I know this person said awful things about me. He had a need for closure from those who hurt him, and he was buried in his own grief. I was collateral damage in his wounded heart and his jaded love. He said I was arguing when he put pressure on me to keep pretending that everything was okay. He lacked emotional intelligence and said I was too sensitive. He lacked self awareness and criticized me for some of the same flaws that he possessed. He lacked honesty and complicated the truth to fit his narrative of how this was all going down. He lacked boundaries and overstepped mine just to see if I would argue again, because arguing gave him control. I know, because at one time in my life, I acted the same way. When I called him out on all of this, he thought that I was spying on him. He asked me how I knew so much. It was then that I went silent. And when I went silent, it caused him to believe he had won. But the truth is, he didn't win at all. He lost. Because he didn't love me enough to stop me. Because I had done this before to myself and to others. I realized what he was doing in showing his character. I was one step ahead of him. And I recall him saying, "How did this happen?" Well, it happened because God had walked me through fire before, and I had learned my lesson. This was yet another lesson, a final lesson. I'm not going to repeat it again. But this is where I began to heal, to find the need for closure from those who hurt me. Not just his hurt, but my own. Because at one time, I loved to the point where I sacrificed myself and my happiness for someone else. I could only see what was hurting me. What I know is what was hurting me now was not his love. He was not in love with me. My heart was not safe with him. My tears didn't matter because there was no connection. He was emotionally unavailable because of his own hurt and ego. He wanted my comfort because he was broken and refused to heal. My happiness didn't matter because I was just taking the place of the previous person he had done this to. And it would be the same with the next one, and in a few months, yet another. You see, God will continue to give you the same lesson until you learn it. That is his way. I vowed to never repeat this lesson again, and I won't. How I loved him, though, showed my character, which really is the saddest part of my story. You see, the truth is that healing isn't marked by silence. You're allowed to be heard and seen. Some doors will close without explanation. You have to leave them closed. It doesn't mean that loving yourself means never being angry, and you can heal and still be hurt. You can be kind and still have grief, and you're not broken. You just feel deeply because you're human. Peace is not perfect. Peace is finding unconditional love for those that hurt you through the grace of God. You see, you can give love to those who don't know what to do with it. You can stay longer when you know you shouldn't have. You can hope harder than they deserved. I know that for a while, for me, it felt like a waste. But real love never disappears. What I let go of was his lack of love for me. When you can choose to be soft in a world that's hard, on days that you give with love, one day it'll come back to you by someone who has been searching for you all along. They want the exact love that you know how to give. They will want your loyalty, your patience, your kindness, and the way it feels to be in your presence. They will want your calming love and to see you, not just how you look when you smile, but the way that your heart holds others up, even when you're tired. They'll look into your eyes and see the very love they've searched for all their lives. It will be in that specific moment that you will understand. The love you gave away was just always finding its way back to you. You see, you are enough. God's unconditional love for you makes you more than enough for the right person. You know what you deserve. And sometimes knowing what you deserve will force you to walk away from people you love and situations that you're emotionally attached to. Oh, you'll want to stay. Believe me, you will. But you know that you have to go because they just can't meet you halfway. They can't meet you where you are. They can't live up to the standards you now have or the baseline that you've set for yourself. They can't love you with their whole heart. They are not kind or respectful, and they don't honor your boundaries because they can't do it for themselves either. I'm certain that my person is out there somewhere. He's probably pushing on a pull door. But he's looking for me too. And when he finds me, he's going to find that I'm complete and whole in God's unconditional love. The love he finds in me will be total love, more than he ever wanted or hoped for. Because I was taught by a master, a king, and the only one who has ever loved me this way. It's God's unconditional and total love that saved me. He can do that for you too. If this resonated with you, please visit my website at www.evolvv1111.org. Please visit my blog in the right-hand corner of the page and comment. Please like and share this post. And don't forget to visit our new Facebook page. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.